Hi, I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia to meet my friend Kyle.
Tommy, what's up, brother?
Kyle, how are you?
Good to see you, man. Welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Come inside.
Thank you.
I'll show you some pics from the climb with Kilimanjaro.
So, how did you arrive to that crazy idea of climbing the Kilimanjaro? How did you manage to set everything? And tell me a little bit about that.
Because everybody has, some mountain. It might not be Kilimanjaro, but everybody has something that they want.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes we go and we take those things and we put it aside. We wait forever. We'll go and put it on a list and just think about it and dream about it. But it's hard. Taking that first step, I think, is sometimes the hardest part.
And I take the Kilimanjaro thing as an excuse, as a metaphor of what really people can face in their life, because in my way of thinking, you don't need a Kilimanjaro actually like a mountain.
Right.
All of us, we have our own Kilimanjaros in our lives, and I take this like you showing people as a big metaphor of what can be achieved.
There was a lot of time, especially when I was young, where I would just cry myself to sleep because I would go and wonder. I would have fear and doubt about the future. What would that bring? I don't have my arms and legs, so would I ever be able to have a normal job? Would I ever be able to have like a career path? Like, I had no idea what my place in the world was.
So what do you think about all what is going on with young people? And I'm really interested in knowing your message to them.
First, learn to go and accept the fact that there are things that are completely out of your control. As an individual, a single individual, you'll not be able to go and change the economy. But what you can go and do is change yourself first.
The responsibility is not on me. It's my country, my government, and this crisis, as the crisis is something that you can meet in front of your house. Like, I always ask people, have you ever met the crisis? Because you talk a lot about him or about her or about it. And the point that the thing that you are pointing for me very clearly is that the responsibility is in you.
I think that one of the most important things in any situation that you're facing, any challenging situation, is at first to accept that there are things that you cannot control. No matter how hard when I was a kid that I would just beg or plead or pray to be born with arms and legs, it would never happen. And so, I'm thankful. Early on, my family taught me that process of just acceptance. And that the only way I could go and change my circumstance was just to go and, the only way I could go and change the way anybody else thought about me was just to go and change myself first. My grandmother, she taught me in the grocery store, where we would just go up and down the aisle. She would go and put me in the front seat of the cart. And if people were, looking at me or staring, she taught me just to introduce myself, to reach out, to shake their hand. Like the first time I met you, to say, hi, I'm Kyle.
Yeah.
She told me, she said, once people hear your voice and they see your face, the disability will fade away. It won't even matter.
Because Kyle, do you feel disabled?
Everybody has a disability. And the things that I face on the outside are way more visual, that you can go and see it. But we all face things internally. Disabilities of, sometimes a lack of belief in ourselves. Disabilities of just the way that we perceive the world and see, and interact in the way that we see ourselves. Disabilities of character. Disabilities of morality. And the things that we complain about, the things that we whine about the most, they might be the hardest things that we go and face and endure every day. But they're also the greatest gifts, too, once you start to go and change the frame from which you see those things.
For me, that image of you being a kid, wanting to play football, American football for the Europeans to understand, American football, you being a kid and saying, no, I want to play with them, I want to be part of the team.
Continuing to go and stand up again and again when you've been knocked down, resilience, perseverance, like those things, continuing to go and answer the bell and move forward. Those are the things that make us who we are. I was 14 years old the first time that I dressed myself. It was embarrassing. It took me over 30 minutes to put my socks on for the first time. To me, that first time I dressed myself took almost an hour. Now it takes about a minute. When I started, that was the hardest. You know, it was absolutely the hardest.
I think one of the issues with people that have trouble starting something and going outside of that comfort zone is just the expectation that things are going to go perfectly that first time.
My answer is like, go and try. Go and try to sell something to someone, because a lot of people are scared of people telling them, no, thank you, I don't want anything, I don't need anything. But I'm sure that if they would try it, like, let's say 20 times, 11 from those 20, that would be a success that they didn't expect. So for me, the most important thing is to go out from that,
think that
mental simulator.
You know, 20 out of 20 times is going to be a failure, right? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So Kyle, what do you think? I mean, there are a lot of people that they have that excuse that the crisis, the recession, that it's very difficult to set up like a business now, that it's not the good time. But man, you have your own business.
My belief is that like a recession, it's still a collection of like individual choices, right?
Yeah.
So if you can go and find, you know, just like a couple of, you know, ways to differentiate and make it work, and it can really be a good time for a small business to go and become established. A bigger corporation has less room to be able to go and change.
Yeah.
But a smaller business has a lot more flexibility.
They're all labeled on the side so you know which one's which.
Thank you very much. Got it? Yep.
Every time I climb a mountain, that I've been in a very difficult situations, and you had your own experience in the Kilimanjaro, there are sometimes that also is necessary to say, okay, enough is enough. I have to quit here, I have to give up. So because there is a limit, and a healthy limit to stop and to think about the situation, and probably to take a different direction.
Absolutely, because that can be the curse sometimes of being resilient, is that you know, sometimes become too stubborn going down one path, and I've been there before too. You know, stubborn to the point where it becomes a fault. I believe wholeheartedly that, you know, that all things are possible. Does not necessarily mean that all things are the right things to do. And I think that is the underlying most important thing in life in general, is knowing why you are on this planet, why you are here. Because when you know your purpose, you can overcome anything.